Previous video, we created this matrix from the original problem. You'll have to go back and look at the other video. Here was the original problem if you want to stop the video and reread it. We created a system of equations. We turned it into a part-way matrix, a little pseudo matrix there of intermediate terms, and then we converted it into just a matrix of coefficients and constants. Okay, and now the question is, what are we going to do to solve this guy right here? So now I'm trying to concentrate just on the matrix that's right here. And the answer is, we're going to use our calculator. In your book, or in any book, they will show you how to do row reduction methods. And to get it into something called echelon form, and you can learn to do that by hand, and that's also fairly difficult to do accurately and consistently without error. So it's going to be an improvement over doing necessarily solutions directly on the equations, but it's still not as efficient as making use of the calculator or any computing tool, which is excellent at doing row reduction methods. So how do you do it? Well, first you got to get the matrix into your calculator. You got to get the matrix into your calculator. And how are you going to do that? Well, you see the calculator has a matrix key right here. So you have to press second matrix. And then you can put the matrix in any one of these named matrices, A, B, C, D, whichever one you want. Okay, let's put it into A. So you scroll to the right until you get to edit, and then you press enter. All right, let's see if we can kind of get the matrix on the screen here and most of my calculator at the same time. So there we go. So it looks like we're doing pretty good. Okay, so what am I going to do here? I've got to set my matrix up so it's the same dimensions as this. And how do we know what dimension it is? Well, the way matrices work is it's row by column. I'll say it again, row by column. So the first number designates the number of rows, 3. And the second number, I just scroll to the right. I scroll to the right and hit 4. And then I press the arrow down. And then you can see that there are 1, 2, 3, and the fourth one is off to the side. Okay, down 3 rows, back 4 columns, and I'm back to the other corner. Okay, so I just made a 3x4 matrix. Then this is the easy part. You just got to fill the numbers in. So as I fill each number in, I'll just use the cursor to move to the next one. So 0.11, 0.07, 0.05, 825. Whoop. Better clear that out. Better try that again. 0.11, enter. Sorry, you can't use the cursor. 0.07, enter. 0.05, enter. 825, enter. Okay. 1, enter, 1, enter, 1, enter. 10,500, enter. And I see a mistake. I'm going to get back to it. 1, 0. I can go to the next one with the scroll key. And then I want to put -2 in there, enter. And then that's a 0, and I see I got 8.5 in here instead of 825. Enter. Okay, so maybe I should just double check. Did I get everything good? Looks like. Okay, looks like I got exactly the same matrix in my calculator is on the page. Now what do I do? Okay, what I need to do is find the reduced row echelon form. It's the form with a bunch of 1s down here, a bunch of 1s down the diagonal, and over on the right-hand column will end up being the answers. In other words, the value for each one. And I'll show you how that works in a minute after we find it. So you want to know more about it, you're going to have to read a textbook on the reduced row echelon form and how it works. In this video, we're just trying to concentrate on using the calculator to do it. So I can quit out of there if I want, or I can simply just hit the matrix button again, second matrix, And this time I'm going to go over to math, second matrix. I'm going to go over to math, and the one that I'm looking for is called rref. It's reduced row echelon form. Reduced row echelon form. You press enter. Whoop. But you better get out of what you were doing. Second matrix, math, and I'll scroll up this time because it's down toward the bottom of the list. Row echelon form. Reduced row echelon form. And now I just got to put the matrix in there. So how do you do that? You go back to matrix, and you just pick on the names now. We're not going to edit it. Names allows you to insert whatever matrix you need into whatever algebra or manipulation you're trying to do. So I just press enter to A, and it pops A into my expression. I close the parenthesis, and I hit enter. And immediately, it gives me the reduced row echelon form. And you can see that it only has a 1 here, a 1 here, and a 1 here. So if you remember, if you go back to this little form right here, do you remember that the first column is the M stuff, the mutual funds. The second column was the bonds, government bonds. The third column was the bank. So when I'm looking at this, I'm looking at myself saying, that's 1 times M, or M. That's 1 times M, or M. Nothing times G, nothing times B. So M must be equal to what? 3,000. M must be equal to 3,000. Just like I was kind of looking up here, for example. 1M, 0G, 0B equals to 3,000. Okay? That's how I read the reduced row echelon form. So this is G is equal to 6,000, and this is B is equal to 1,500. And that's how I get it. So on my paper, I could simply do this. I could simply say M is equal to 3,000, G is equal to 6,000, and B is equal to 1,500. Of course, if somebody was looking at my problem, they'd already know that if I wrote it in order, my order was M, G, B. So it's possible that I could just write an ordered triple, and I would be telling somebody the same thing. As long as they understood that my order was M, G, B, they could read it off. So this is clearest right up here, but this is also a shorthand as long as the order of those are clear to whoever's reading it. So it's as simple as that. Reduced row echelon form. Reduced row echelon form.